to my next episode of Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturday. Yes, if you were watching my earlier episode, then you already saw that I was covering Marvel Dice Throne. So if you want to find out a little bit more about Marvel Dice Throne or Dice Throne in general, take a look at that. I'll put a link to that in the description. But what this is about a further expansion to Marvel Dice Throne, and it's basically a standalone. You do not need Marvel Dice Throne to play this game because it is self-contained. But if you just buy this, you're only going to be able to play Captain Marvel versus Black Panther. But these are really nicely packaged in that everything's in its own kind of separate tray here. So if you wanted to take out Captain Marvel and play, let's say, have Captain Marvel fight Thor, well, there's a self-contained packaged Thor and there's a self-contained Captain Marvel. But why listen to me? Let's get inside the box so I can show that to you. But just look at the back of the box here. You can see all the stuff that you get for Captain Marvel, all the stuff you get for Black Panther. And in fact, the rules for Dice Throne actually kind of tease this because it had Black Panther used in the rules. So let's get inside this box and see what we have, because that's why you stopped by. Well, you might have stopped by just to say hi to me on a Saturday. You're really here here at my channel for my war games or my discussion on that. But on Saturdays I deal with sci-fi and fantasy, and I have decided to classify superheroes as sci-fi and fantasy for now. Anyway, so you get a box here, nice sturdy box. You get some silica. All right, got my daily allowance for that. You get the rules of play, and so that's why I said this is standalone. This is the same rules of play that comes in Marvel Dice Throne. It's not super thick, and it tells you, there's Black Panther, it tells you everything you need to know to play the game. Now, if you're, as I said, I kind of go over all this in my previous video, but basically, Dice Throne is a Yahtzee type game where you have 5 dice, you can roll them up to 3 times, and you're trying to get combos or of either symbols, because there's different, the unique dice have different symbols, and then there's also numbers on it, so you can try to roll small straights or large straights, and that all those different things add up to something different, right? So there's different abilities based on what symbols you roll. They either do damage or they give you special tokens that beef you up later or hurt your opponent. Or if you roll your ultimate, which, each one of these symbols is a 1 in 6 chance on your die, then you get an ultimate ability. So as in Yahtzee, it's a press your luck type game where you're trying to roll all these different combos. But it doesn't stop there. There's also action cards or cards you can buy. You get combat points each turn, and there's other things, ways to get combat points, like discarding cards. And then you buy action cards that help mitigate dice rolls, or they upgrade these abilities. And so you buy the card and you actually overlay it over these special abilities, and now you have even a better ability, right? And basically you're fighting to a certain level. Like either you can set it at different levels, but let's say at 50 health, and you got to get somebody down to 0. And you can usually do one-on-one, or if you have this set, you can only do one-on-one. Or you can, I think there's a way to do team play as well. So the rules are relatively straightforward, and the sequence of play is the same and relatively easy to get into. The only learning curve of this game really is the unique abilities that each of the different characters, or in this case superheroes, have. Here are the punch outs. Now, in the previous series, there was like a season 1, season 2, season 1 rerolled, season 2 rerolled. I don't remember them having standees or punch outs. I think that's a new thing, and that might be because there's like a Dice Throne Adventures game, which basically it can put Dice Throne up against an AI and have like a boss fight. So that might be why they're having the standees. But these are all the tokens that are unique here, and you'll see where that comes here in a second. So this is Captain Marvel, and so as I was telling you, it's self-contained. So this is all you need to, once you punch these out, this is all you need to play Captain Marvel. Everything that you need is in here, and you just, take it to your side of the table, open it up, and then start setting up, which doesn't take too long, and then you start playing. So here is Captain Marvel's board. Here's her special abilities. This is a small straight, so if she rolls a small straight, she gets that special ability, which gains a special token and then does some damage. A large straight gains this other special token and does even more damage. This is a defense roll that if they attack you with defendable damage, then you get to roll here and either defend it or do a counterattack or what have you. And then these are just different combinations of symbols that you roll and you get those special abilities. Again, very much Yahtzee, but Yahtzee with a purpose. Then you got, this is the ultimate, which is kind of a pressure luck element. Each one of these symbols is a 1 in 6 chance. And if you get all 5 of them on after 3 rolls, then she gets like a super special ability. Like it does 12 damage. That's quite a lot in one turn. So there you have it. That's her player board. And then she's going to have her sideboard, which is tells her what counters she gets. So this is Cosmic Ray, Cosmic Flare, and Radiance. Those are her own special counters. We'll punch them out from over there, put them in this tray, and then she's self-contained. And then you have the allocation of dice. This is what you can roll. There's 3 of these photon symbols, 2 ascend, and then 1, what is that? Halostar. This tells a little bit about her, how to play her, a little bit about her special abilities or special counters. And then this is complexity. She's a 2 complexity. So if you're just starting to play this game, this might be somebody you want to start with, and because it sounds like she's relatively easy to play. And then that's her component list. Each one of these characters, or superheroes in this case, are going to have their own combat points. This is how you buy cards. I'll show you the cards in a second. But you usually get 1 combat point a turn. You can discard a card to get combat point, and there might be other ways to get combat points in the game. And then you're going to get your health wheel, and it will go down to 0. And then if it does, you die. Then you get your own custom dice, and each character has their own dice. And then they have the deck of cards, and this is kind of the customization of the game. This is why each game is going to be different, because, well, first of all, it's going to be different because you're going to roll stuff different each turn and make different decisions on what dice you want to keep and what dice you want to re-roll and all that stuff that happens with any kind of dice game. But then you have, these don't want to come off. You have these cards. There's a little turn order that tells you how to play the game. And then there's some timing issues because some of the tokens and cards might have a timing issue. But then you have these cards, and this is the cost. Like this is 0 cost. This is 0 CP, and then some of these cost more. And a lot of these cards like manipulate. They either give you counters or manipulate dice. Counters to tokens, I should say. And these are upgrades. So this will upgrade her defensive roll here. You pay 2 CP, and then that goes on top of her board. And now that is in play for the rest of your fight. And these are different upgrades that basically are going to give you more of what more and better than what the basic one that's on your starting board. And then again, there's a whole bunch of different cards in here, and each one of these are generally different. Some of these might have, like Vegas Baby, some of these might be similar across the characters, but a lot of these, especially these upgrades, are all going to be unique to that character. So that is Captain Marvel. And again, once I punch out these tokens and put them in this tray, then she's good to go. That's it. She's ready. It's all, again, as I said, self-contained and ready to go. And then you've got Black Panther here. And again, he has his player board. There is art on the backside, but it's, not really needed. There are some characters that you flip over, and I think it was in season 1. There's some characters that, you flip over. So both sides do come into play. Here's his ultimate, Wakanda Forever. It does like 11 damage and gives him a bunch of the counters. And then there's his different combos. Here's small straight and large straight are on there, but he's got a triple threat. He gets to roll 3 damage dice, or defense dice, I should say, and then ancestral power. So those are his basic special abilities, and that's the board you start with. Then he has his sideboard, which only has 2 different tokens. He's got this kinetic energy and Viranimium suit. God, I'm having trouble speaking right now. Okay, so then this is the dice allocation. He's got 3 slash, 2 Vibranium, and 1 Panther. And then this is his backstory, and he's a 2 complexity as well. Or that's his backstory. This is his special abilities or how to use his counters, and then he's a 2 complexity. So that's his sideboard. He gets a combat points dial. He gets a health dial. And again, these all have unique art and are very thick and very sturdy and come pre-assembled. He gets his own special dice. If you like purple, then those are quite nice. They're all custom, and they're what is that in embossed? Is that the term used for those kind of dice? I mean, I haven't had them rub off or anything like that. So then he has his own deck here. Here's his turn order, and then he's got his own unique deck of cards. And you can see these are definitely unique to him. And then this upgrades his defense roll, and this upgrades ancestral powers and triple threat and all this stuff. So not everybody gets to upgrade every single one of their abilities, but there usually are quite a few upgrades in the deck. And then you've got a lot of mitigation cards that help you mitigate the luck and change some dice rolls or roll extra dice or roll extra times and what have you. And that is what have you in a box of Marvel Dice Throne Captain America versus Black Panther. All I need to do is punch these out, put them in their proper container, and then I am ready to go and then unbox it and play, right? So that's Marvel Dice Throne Captain Marvel versus Black Panther. Interested in playing this, as I said in my earlier video, that this is a game that all my kids and I play. We all tend to enjoy it and have a good time with it. And it's something I think I might try with my wife at some time, but I just haven't got the time to try that. So anyway, if you're interested, if you like dice rolling games, if you like Yahtzee with a lot more decisions, if you like Marvel, if you like head-to-head combat games, this is a no-brainer, right? If you don't like any of those, especially if you don't like dice rolling, then this might not be your cup of tea. Anyway, that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.